Memories come, I've changed a lot, friends list got thinner. Ain't tripping about enemies, true and stay hidden. He was lurking, so we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen, they faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten, they ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay hissing, spreading words and rumors, they gon' keep dissing. Successful, I feel. All the memories come flooding back, hit different. I've changed a lot, friends list got thinner. Ain't tripping about enemies, true and stay hidden. He was lurking, so we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen, they faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten, they ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay hissing, spreading words and rumors, they gon' keep dissing.
Good evening to each and everyone. Happy Sunday. It's a boy GFC Garvin back again with another video for you guys today. Today is a day where it's Mother's Day on my end. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in the world. Wherever you are. But if you're watching this, I want to say thank you and thank all the moms, that's there for their kids. And it's a lot to be a mom. All the burdens you have to carry for 9 months. All the sickness, whatever. You have to deal with each and every day, as a mom. So I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in the world, and hope you guys enjoy this wonderful day. It's a special day for all of you guys. So I just want to say thank you, to be the wonderful mom that you are, and continue to do the work and the wonderful work. As I said earlier, it's not easy to be a mother. So it's not easy to be a parent in general. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and may God continue to bless and keep you guys. Yes, guys, now we're back with football business. Chelsea. Chelsea put a smile on our face again this weekend. A lot of games played, to be quite honest, over the weekend, and a lot of wonderful result. What can I say? Or what can we say? Because as I'm saying right now, like the result, fall in our favor. We see our captain is back. Reece James is back. What a performance from him. Soon as he touched the field, it showed what we've been missing for. It's a well taken victory, to be quite honest. Like we couldn't ask for more than that. It's something that we have to sit down and reminisce a little bit, because I said that victory, we come out of nowhere after another former player scoring us and celebrating. These former players that leave Chelsea, I don't know what's wrong, but they keep on celebrating every time they score. However, did that celebration, when you celebrate against us, the Mackin celebration. But, they will get what coming to them sooner or later. But, it's not about them. It's about us. So, as I'm saying, like, congratulations for the victory, and the next thing again it did wonders for us with Brighton, take care of Newcastle with a draw, even though a victory would have been better for us. But overall, right now, we're looking in the driver's seat right now. We're driving, and we're driving very well. Long may that continue. Can we continue to do it until the end of the season or an end? We're still looking a favor. We need one favor. And that favor will be if Manchester United can take care of Newcastle, that would do a magnificent favor for us. If they can and we take care of Brighton, all destinies in our hands. So keep our finger crossed, because that's the fixtures that we definitely have to see right now. We're all have to be Manchester United fan after Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday. I think they play on Wednesday. So that's where we're at right now. We're gonna have to cheer for Manchester United a little bit to take care of Newcastle. If they can take care of Newcastle, as I said, the rest, the destiny would be in our own hands. Destiny will reveal itself. Let me see. So it'll be Wednesday. So Wednesday, we play Brighton, and we have to go to Brighton. So we have to take care of business against Brighton, and hopefully um, Manchester United take care of Newcastle. But for right now, that's all she wrote. But back to what I was talking about earlier. As I was saying earlier in the video when it starts, Happy Mother's Day. Like, this day means a lot to me. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here for, because it's Mother's Day. So yeah, I'm just trying to do my regular show as usual, but not sure how long I'm gonna be on for. I'm just gonna be here talking a little bit about the Premier League, and if any of the panelists join me, well, we can have a nice conversation. But for this weekend, we all see that Manchester United lose to Arsenal, one goal to nothing. But the thing is, Man City blow Fulham away 4-1. So the goals difference is like, I think 3 right now, because Arsenal win 1 to nothing. So the goals difference between Arsenal and Man City is not that a huge gap like it used to. They close it to just 3 goals. If they beat Tottenham by like about 3 goals or 4, then they will go on goal difference. The goal difference will be better than Arsenal, and that will take us down to the wire, the last game of the season anyway. Arsenal would have to draw or lose today, for the tackle to really concede in Wednesday. But we're gonna get it into the last day of the season, guys. That's when it's gonna decide. The tiger is gonna decide the last game of the season, because right now Arsenal is back on top, but Man City got a game in hand. So that's gonna take us to the final game of the season. Doesn't matter what the result is against Tottenham, it's still gonna take us to the last game of the season. Because as I'm saying, like, if Arsenal did lose today, then if Man City win, then it would be mathematically, City. You can say City is a champion. But unfortunate, like, they take care of United today. So United lost. My favorite, to be quite honest, was Liverpool. And I was giving Aston Villa a little cheer, because I was wondering if Aston Villa can pull off something that Leicester City put off a couple of years ago. So I think that Aston Villa could do it. That was in my belief, but they fade away. And the 3 top dogs, left in the race until finally, Liverpool does decide they want to bow out. I don't know if they fry too much chicken over there or whatever, but they jump out of the race real quick. So for me, Newcastle chicken out. Sorry, not Newcastle. Liverpool get chicken out in the last 5 games, 6 games of the season, and leave only the two top dogs in the race. Let us see who's gonna take it or who need it more, because Tottenham can play a big part in this. Tottenham definitely can play a massive part in this, a massive part. Because if Tottenham beat Manchester City, you can say that they definitely put the title right there in their biggest rival end. So I don't know if Tottenham gonna lay over for City to walk over them, or they're gonna do their biggest rival a favor, and take care of Man City. Let us see how that go on Tuesday. But that game gonna be a game to be watched. Everyone's gonna tune into that game. I know for a fact that the whole entire world gonna tune into that game, because that game gonna be massive. That game is gonna be a massive game for both Arsenal and also Tottenham too. Because don't forget, if Tottenham lose that game, and Chelsea win, Chelsea just 3 points into Tottenham with probably a better goal average. So it can go many ways. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this final part of the season, the European and the relegation already said itself, to be quite honest. So not too much in the relegation. So for me, the relegation battle already decided because Luton would have to really want to see Nottingham Forest lose by 6 goals, and they have to win by 6 goals. So that's the big difference. So I don't think that would be like a remarkable. That would be something that would have to go down in history if that really happened. So the relegation battle already set itself. We already know whose 3 teams gonna go down, and we already know 2 teams that's coming up. So and the playoff is still there, all of that. So all of that good stuff. But it's coming down to the final weekend of the Premier League, guys. It's one more weekend to go. One more weekend to go, one more midweek match, and then the final weekend on Sunday. So it's gonna be down to the wire with this European place, for both for the European spot and the champion spot. Because as I said, Tottenham can definitely give their the biggest rival, the title, or they can take it away from them. So it's in right now. It's in the Hotspurs' hand right now, and Spur always spur it up. So which team Spur gonna spur it up for this time around? They're gonna spur it up for Manchester City, or they're gonna spur it up for Arsenal. Who they're gonna spur it up for? But something gonna have to give, and someone gonna have to give way, in that game. And that's all in Tottenham hand right now. Tottenham got destiny in their hands. They can decide the championship. Look how it is. Tottenham can decide the championship, and they can decide the European spot too. So Tottenham got everything in their hand right now. Every single thing is in Tottenham hand. Tottenham can decide both spots, because if Chelsea win both of their games and Tottenham lose both of their games, Chelsea can creep ahead of them. And same thing with Newcastle. So everything is in Tottenham hand right now, to be quite honest. Both the European spot and also the Premier League title. So Tottenham, what a way to finish this Premier League season. The way Tottenham started off the season, a lot of people were saying, Tottenham fans especially, were saying they were the favorite for the Premier League. Like, every stream that I go on, I heard Tottenham fans was beating their chest, that they get their Tottenham back, like they're back. So that to show you that definitely, Tottenham, they can decide whatever happen right now in the Premier League. Rich Moneymaker in the building. Big up. Rich Moneymaker. Yeah, so we definitely have to sit back and watch and wait and see what's really gonna go on. Because right now, for me, if Tottenham lose the next 2 games, what a waste. If Man City beat Tottenham, what a waste for Arsenal, because that ain't gonna look good for Arsenal. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna come down to the final day to decide all these different places. What a Premier League this season, guys. If you guys like the Premier League, just smash the like button for me. Like the Premier League show us like, it's the best league in the world. And if you guys agree, man, just smash the like button and drop a comment in for me. Like, smash the like button if you guys like what you see in the Premier League this time around. 8 of you guys tune in right now. Just smash the like button. And not only smashing the like button, guys, just leave a comment in the comment section. Blue Board Analyst is in the building. Yeah, it's a weekend that we can never forget. We see Reece James is back. Which I'm gonna touch on Chelsea topic a little bit, but to highlight what's really going on in the Premier League, like to see Tottenham Hotspur got the destinies in their hand. Like, they can decide the European spot, they can decide the Premier League. What a way to finish this Premier League season. And remember, Tottenham was leading the Premier League at the beginning because they were on top, about 7 or 8 games winning streak, where their manager get like the first 3 manager of the month back to back. So that to show you that Tottenham was the top dog at the beginning of the season, and now right now they're struggling to decide who's gonna be the champions. They got both right now. They got their hands like this. If they go this way, it can be they can doom from Europe, and if they go this way, they can give Manchester City the Arsenal the title. You know, so which one they want to do? You know, they're gonna lay over, let City just roll over them, or they're gonna stand up and give their biggest rival one of the biggest moments of their life for 20 years. You know, one of that would be one of the biggest result for Arsenal if Tottenham take care of Manchester City. For 20 years, Arsenal struggled to win a title. So imagine what if you were in Tottenham shoes, what you guys would do. You know, it's not a shoe that I would want to fit in, to be quite honest. They can see their biggest rivals celebrate in their face, you know, or they can see their team fall from grace. Like, you've been doing so wonderful in the regular season, and now see it's all blow up right in front of them. Like, Chelsea was struggling and finished ahead of them. You know, yeah, I know we have to be Brighton. Yeah, I know that for sure. You know, but I'm just like saying, like, look at Tottenham. Like, who want to be in Tottenham shoes right now? Like, I definitely know that Howard would want to be in there, because if they go left or they go right, you know, they're gonna walk in the same problem. You know, anywhere they turn, they got the same problem in front of them. You know, do they really want to give Arsenal the title? You know, to say that they're the one that hand the Premier League title to Arsenal, like walk up and hand it and said, "Here you go. This is the Premier League title. You can have it." You know, do Tottenham really want to do that? I was watching a stream where they were saying that a Tottenham fan riot to the board and said not to give the match to Man City. You know, I don't know how true it is, but in a professional sports, though, I don't think that's fair or honest, or, you know, I wouldn't want nothing like that, to be quite honest, because I wouldn't want that to be, you know, in Chelsea, for Chelsea. So I want Tottenham to be professional, but I still want Chelsea to finish as high as possible. So for me, you know, I definitely don't want to see the game reaching that stage, you know, because this is not Italy, this is the English Premier League, you know. But for sure, you know, I would love them to lose, you know, not to throw it away, but to lose, you know, and let it go down to the final day of the season. You know, make the best man win. Who won it most? With me, I wouldn't want Arsenal to win it, to be quite honest, because we're the last team in London to win the Premier League title. And I would love it for it to stay that way until at least, you know, we start to compete back, you know, to be quite honest. So that's just a Chelsea fan in me, you know, but I got no beef with Man City, to be quite honest. I never have a problem with Man City fans, because there's not much Man City fans around. You know, it's just mostly young kids that don't really know the history of the game too much. So I don't really got any beef with Man City fans, to be quite honest. So for me, Man City wouldn't be that noisy, you know, because walking to my job, like, I won't have no Man City fan to deal with, but I definitely have Arsenal fan and Man City fan and Manchester United fan to deal with. So, you know, that's just the difference. That's just the difference for me, you know, in my point. That's the difference. Sorry, guys, if you hear I'm drawing up my nose. The weather be bouncing here, you know, and in the U.S. like it. I thought it would have been going to summer, but right now outside is really cold, you know. So sorry if you hear I'm drawing up. I'm a little bit stuffy, a little bit, not too much, but you know, the weather is kind of iffy out there right now. So yeah, let me see what Rich Moneymaker say. Tottenham fans want Manchester City to beat them to stop Arsenal. Well, that's what I was saying earlier. For me, I don't see why they should have want to sit down and roll over for Manchester City to beat them. But you know, I would like them to go and play, and Man City go and play. Make the best man win. And then go down to the final game of the season, and Arsenal and Man City. Take your hats off when we all sit there and watch the game and look and see how they both can finish the season. But deep down inside of me though, I think Man City gonna find a way to nip it, to be quite honest. After Tuesday game, we're gonna know and see, and what's really gonna happen, to be quite honest. I watched Arsenal play today, and their win wasn't too convincing to me. And the reason why it wasn't too convincing to me, it's the way of I saw the way they were playing. It's how should I put it? You can see that they were trying their best not to lose the game, because that scoreline was narrow. They wasn't trying to outdo a team like how they normally do. You can see they're playing with caution, and in the final game of the season, I know for a fact, that they will be more precaution for them too, which Man City already been there and done it. So, let us see. That's just on my take though, but I can be wrong. So just let us see and see how it goes, but it should be a very interesting game for me, to see who won it the most or who's gonna take it. I don't got a dog in a fight, to be quite honest. Anyone wins for me, but I would love Man City to win it because I have to deal with Arsenal fans. But my club we got our own problem, And I'm gonna say this, going into the Chelsea topic, if Chelsea sat Pochettino right now, if they're not gonna get like an Andrew Flick, for me, like leave Pochettino where he is, because you can see definitely these players are playing for him. Whether we like it or not, we can see that these players are playing for him. So we can sit here and say we like it or we don't like it, but definitely you can see that these players are playing for Pochettino. And stability right now in kids' life is a very, very important thing. Well, if he resigned, fair play to him. You're right. If he resigned, then we can say fair play to him. But for me, in my part, like I think definitely that if we're not gonna get a world class manager, where these kids gonna shake out Pochettino and revolve around that manager, I think they'll just leave Pochettino where he is, because stability right now is very important, and I see how these kids are playing for him, and I can see the bond and the relationship that he built with them. Pochettino only got honestly, I can be man enough to say that if he can give me better result next season and competing for the top four, the beginning of the season I can see the same signs that we show in the preseason, and I can be man enough to say that I can accept that at least for one more season. If I can see this whatever is building right now is continual, into next season, then I can say, yeah, Pochettino, at least give him the end of the season, because the way he's developing these kids, if it continue, when you see more kids are getting in develop, then it's a good shout. I won't say it's a bad shout. It'll be a good shout. But for right now, if you bring in a manager and he come in with different methods, to grow these kids, it can be a problem. It would be just like a dad set a foundation for his kids. On the weekends he go walk them, and that being missing out of the kids' life, by either the parents split or fall to the wayside, and or something, and the mom bring in someone else, and they come with a different principle. The kids can go outside, the kids have to stay inside. After a while, it's tension's gonna build. And the household itself can broke. So I'm just looking at it that way. Like I see what he's building with the kids. So for me, I'm not a Pochettino fan, big fan, to be quite honest. I'm not saying he's in, because for me, he could have done more in the beginning of the season, where he could have get these kids, more points. Not really get the kids more points. I see ways and needs, but everyone got their own method, because what he's saying, you have to build a chair, before you can sit on it. So what he was trying to do, he was trying to get them to play as a unit, and now we're seeing them playing as a unit. Now I see Cole Palmer is fluid around the pitch. Nandi Madueke having moments here and there. Modric kind of started to have a little moment. Balashila looked like he's back to where we can think, say, and not only that either, Thiago Silva been playing, even though he's going, and Marco Corella, you can see a difference in him. Caicedo, you can see Caicedo improve a lot, and let the list go on. Chalobah, you can see a difference in Chalobah too. So, and what I see he did yesterday too kind of convinced me a little bit that Pochettino can do more. The subs was really good, because Nani Madueke was having a bad game. The subs was good at the right time. So all those little details you seen yesterday game for that comeback, to show that the team is building a fighting spirit. If he can bring this into next season, I would give him another chance, to be quite honest, because right now this group is together. So I don't see why it cannot continue into next season. So if we're not gonna get Andrew Flick or a well-established manager, someone that we know gonna know how and take up where he left off, like it would be no reason to sack him, to be quite honest, or there would be no reason for them to let him resign, because stability is the best you can think of in young players' career. A stable house is way better than an unstable house. Yeah, you're 100% right. So that's what I'm saying right now. I'm not the biggest fan of Pochettino, because I think he's still a problem to cross the finishing line. But now what he's building right now, if he can continue on this next season, I will give him another chance. That's just me. I would willingly to wait one more season before we start a challenge for the Premier League. I have no problem to wait if what we're building is stable, and what we're building, you can see it's developing and growing overnight. For me, like I will definitely, patient enough to wait. So for me, with Pochettino, what I see yesterday, the fight, the comeback, the substitute was right on the money. Everything was perfect. I don't see nothing that I can say it wasn't perfect. Everything was like on spot. The substitute, the changing of formation when we go down, how to stretch it up, how to bring Reece James back. Everything was what was spot on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The sub normally being late, and the sub was early and change the game, because he's definitely he see Nani Madueke was having a bad game right away, and Kuku is in. When he see that he don't need it to own in midfielder, you take Gallagher off to go for it. Those are the little things that I really, really want to see Pochettino do, all along in the season. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Manchester United always fishing around him too from a long time ago because they know that Pochettino is a good man to build a project. That's what I'm saying. Like for what I'm seeing right now, I wouldn't try to get rid of him right now if I'm not gonna get a hand flip. I would definitely right now stick with him. And the reason why I would stick with him right now, everyone know that Pochettino can build a project, and if he can continue to build this project, and then further down the line we got another manager that can cross the line, come in and take it from there, and have something stable like Man City, then I will definitely go for it. I will. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of Pochettino, or I'm never saying Pochettino in or out because I know that it's not easy to build a team. And for what's going on right now, like you can see the players are playing for him. You can see that the players got his respect, and he respect the players and the player respect him. So for me right now, it's just definitely something is smelling good, because what he's saying in the just because they're putting his job under pressure. So I guess he want to stay at Chelsea, but I think he's just putting it out in the media like I got offer, I can go to this team because earlier on down in the season, he was saying like he risked his reputation to come to Chelsea. That's what he was saying, that he risked his reputation to come to Chelsea. So he risked his reputation to come to Chelsea. So if he's trying to say stuff like that, he is still a manager that a lot of clubs would take right now. They would snap Chelsea finger off just to take him because he's not a bad manager. He plays some fantastic and he know how to let his team score goals. It's just to cross the finishing line. That's just where I got the problem with him. It's just if he can cross the line. That's what I'm saying. AC Milan, he can go to Milan, to be quite honest. He can go to Manchester United. I know Manchester United will take him, because they know that he know how to build a project. So he's gonna get offers there for him. Even Bayern Munich, definitely they know that he can go to Bayern Munich too. So we never can tell. Like probably get an offer from Bayern Munich because recently he's coming out and he's showing shades in the media. That to show you that something is smelling right in the kitchen. As Rock used to say, if you smell, none of us know what Pochettino is cooking right now. Because Pochettino love his cookout, his barbecue. He love those little stuff. So none of us know what Pochettino is cooking. But as I'm saying, if we're not gonna get a world-class manager that these players gonna respect right away, like do whatever you can do to keep Pochettino into the job. To be quite honest, because the manager market ain't that good right now. And none of us can sit here and say the manager market is real good because none of us know what really going on right now in the market. So anything can happen. Yeah, so Pochettino love his family. He's a family oriented man, so as I said, he said earlier in the press conference the other day when he said like you have to build a chair before you can sit, and that's true. So probably he was trying different methods to get these players together. Probably that's why we were struggling. Which, if that's the case, I understand. If that's the case, I can live with it. If he just coming out and tell us like, listen, this is why I have to do this, like what he was saying in the press conference. I understand. And I can accept that because all of these players are young. And if we want a long-term future, with these kids that to be challenging or to win titles, sometimes you have to make some sacrifice. And if that's the sacrifice he made, to abandon trying to only get 3 points here and there and to build something for the future, a long-term future, where we can have all these players long-term, I'm down for it. But he should have come out a long time and say all of these stuff that he's saying now. He should have been saying these things from day one. the problem I got with Pochettino, and he was giving us false hope. Don't give us false hope if you know you cannot fulfill it. So that was my main problem with Pochettino, because when he was coming out and say this is Chelsea and Chelsea's here to win, and all of these things that he was saying, and then he's gonna say that, oh, Chelsea's not Chelsea for 20 years. Those are the little things that bother me. Those are the things that let me was like frustrated with him and getting ready to, like, if he go, he goes. But now what he's showing me and what he's saying, it's different. It's balanced. No, I can understand that. Okay, you're trying to find methods to get the best out of these players. So I do understand. Now I do understand. And this is what I'm asking for. I'm asking for, like, come out and be honest with the supporters, the fans, because we're the one, we dedicate ourselves to it just like you. We stay out late at night, early in the morning to be a part of the club. So, like, be honest with us. If we're not ready, we're just not ready. We have to accept it. Little stuff like those. Like, if you're not ready, you're just not ready. All right. If Pochettino decides to walk away, it could positive sign into the. Well, recently the fans, to be quite honest, most of the fans are on Pochettino's side right now. That's what I'm saying. If Pochettino walk away right now, it can damage a project where they're building, or it can help it. It can be both ways. It can really damage it, or it can broke it, because these players can say there's no stability here. Like, I don't want to be here no more. And and then the fans can start to look at it and say, like, these ownership, they're not living up to our expectation, because they promise us this and they're not giving it. So it can go both ways if Pochettino walk away. Much as a lot of people don't like Pochettino because he come from Spurs, but this can split the fan base wide open, and this can be something detrimental to Chelsea Football Club. This can help the club, or it can break the club. So right now, the way how it's said, like, Pochettino is a smart man. He put himself right now in a situation where the owners probably gonna have to bow to his demands. And I'm sorry to say, but right now he hold the club as hostage right now, because, as I'm saying, a lot of these fans right now, more likely for the players, more likely seeing how the players are happy together. And if they brought that up right now, and then they know that it come from the owners and the directors, things can snip in a quick heartbeat. So we have to be very, very careful right now. It's not like Graham Potter. This situation right now that we're in right now is totally different. And a lot of people don't think deeply into these stuff. We don't make content just to make content. We make content with facts. What can happen, because this is just not something that you can take lightly right now. That's where we're at right now. It's not something that we can just take lightly. We have to take this one right now with deep thoughts. It's not like when you get rid of Graham Potter and it will be okay. You bring in Frank Lampard, you bring in this, you bring in that, and all the players accept it. But right now, the bond and the relationship that he built with the players, like, we have to take off our cap, right now, and we have to think deeply before we make a decision right now. This is not a thing that you can just walk away from. This is not a marriage that you can just get up and get rid of right now. You have to think deeply how it's going to cost you. It's going to cost me my whole entire house, my whole entire savings, my whole entire career. What this marriage is going to cost me, and that's where it is right now. It's right there, right? It's right there, and we all can see it. It's not nothing easy right now for. And that's what I'm saying. Even like former players, I listen to John Terry, and majority of these former players right now is saying that, you have to give him time. Like Pochettino do need time. So that's what I'm saying. If you're not gonna get an Ange Flick in right now, like why sack him? You know, why get rid of Pochettino right now? Yeah, like everyone right now see that what he's building right now. I would let him finish build what he's building. You know, we definitely it's hard to get rid of him. And Andrew Flick right now seems like he's going to Bayern Munich. You know, or he's probably going to go to Manchester United. So right now, our Thomas Tuchel. But right now, I want to take Thomas Tuchel back for this job anyway. You know, that's just my opinion. A lot of people saying Thomas Tuchel is the best man for Chelsea, but I don't think he is the best man for Chelsea at this time. You know, I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Your opinion is different. You know, we can agree to disagree or disagree to agree. You know, but that's just the way it is. That's just me. You know, I wouldn't take back Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel will take us to a lot of finals. He probably win some and he's gonna lose some. But I want these players to have stability. I want them to compete. You know, are in a title race. You know, Thomas Tuchel never give me that in the Premier League. He never in a title race before in the Premier League. You know, he have us win a lot of trophies, and I really appreciate it. You know, I do. You know, I really appreciate what Thomas Tuchel do for us, even when we were under the sanction. You know, the way how he carried himself in the press conference, the way how, you know, he carried himself. He was representing the team, the club on a whole. You know, that man is a legend for me in Chelsea Football Club. But at this point in time, you know, I wouldn't take him back from. That's just on my point. You know, I don't know if he's still broken. You know, from all the problems that go on earlier in his life, which is that his personal life. You know, I don't get into the personal life thing. You know, but I don't know if that still affect him why he struggled at Bayern Munich. Remember, it took Borussia Dortmund, you know, to really throw it away in the last day of the season last season for him to win the Bundesliga. And this season, we all see that, you know, he couldn't stop Bayern Leverkusen, you know, and even in the League Cup, German League Cup, you know, he's out of that too. So I don't want to put nothing against the man, you know, but you can see that the man was broken, you know, after Chelsea or during Chelsea, you can see that he was broken. Yeah, like mathematically right now, you know, right now, if we do win, like we're gonna finish ahead of Manchester United if we want to beat Brighton, you know, and finish ahead of Manchester United always been a dream for me. You know, if you guys on this channel, like you guys will know, like it's a big deal for me to finish ahead of Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham. It's a big deal for me. You know, even Liverpool. But at this time, like at least we get one. If we can finish above a Manchester United, even better. You know, so it's gonna be a long summer. You know, and we got two more games to go, and then we all will know the fate of the managers. You know, what's going to really happen. The manager Miro Garone, you know, was wide open earlier in last month, but right now it's more likely closed because we all can see that a lot of these teams keeping their manager because the manager market ain't that good. Yeah, the manager market ain't that good. Sorry, guys. And even the striker market ain't that good either. So there's a lot of things out there that's not really good at this moment. You know, the manager market, the striker market, because we got the Victor Osimhen, you know, and the Gilchrist, and you know, who else is out there? You know, about four good strikers out there right now in the market. The Victor Osimhen gonna come with a lot of baggage, a lot of money, you know, and the way how the wage system set up right now, you know, in the league is just like, you know, you have to be careful because for me, I rather my team right now, to be quite honest, to be financially stable then to be every season I heard that we're probably gonna fail the financial, the financial part, Oh yeah, they definitely have to be glad we're above Brighton and West Ham, because that's where we need to be. How you doing, Andy? Rich Moneymaker Andy and Blue Board Analyst is in the building, guys. Guys, please remember, let me put it up on the stream right here. If you guys can go and subscribe to Blue Board Analyst if you haven't yet, go over there and support him. Subscribe to the channel. Very very good analyst of the game. Very intelligent when it come on to the analyst, and is a very good person too. I do a lot of stream with him. So if you guys want to go over there and support it, you guys can, because trust me, he got more coming, guys. He analyzes the game really good. So look out for him and look out for his video. Go over there and that's his YouTube name. So you can go over there and subscribe to it. And you don't have to tell him that I send you, but you go over there and you guys support it. Subscribe to the channel if you can. But you guys will see me over there from time to time doing videos and stuff, analyst. But I'm definitely, Andy, I know you were a Tottenham fan, but you guys got this big decision to make right now. For me, it's you guys have everything in both hands right now. You can decide the European spot. You can decide the trophy. You can either walk away and give it to Man City, or you can take it from Man City and give it to Arsenal. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. But you guys can decide it, or you guys can decide a European spot. If you guys lose both games, and Chelsea win both games, Chelsea can finish ahead of you guys. So it's a very hard task for Tottenham, as I was saying earlier in the video. But the players, it's good to see some of these players back. Your Christopher Nkunku, your Ugo Chukwu, your Reece James. It's giving me a little bit of hope for the remaining two games. I hope we give Thiago Silva a well sent off. At least, we didn't give him the trophies, but at least give him a 5-game winning streak. To leave us with, finish in Europe. That would be something magnificent we can do for him. I hope he's back one day in the future. Because Thiago Silva is a legend and he's a one of a kind generation, player. Because if you notice, that man seems like he's never aging. He always remain like he's still in his 20s. What a legend. And if you guys don't know, go check it out on Netflix. The Captain of the World. You guys need to check out Thiago Silva documentary on Netflix. Captain of the World is a very good documentary, to watch his career, from where it's began to where it is right now. Go check it out. Captain of the World on Netflix. Give it a watch, guys. You guys will enjoy it. It's not in English, but you can read the subtitles. It's really interesting. For me, Gallagher already proved to me that he can be a part of Chelsea. Not saying probably a starting midfielder, but he can be a part of the squad, because we're gonna definitely need a squad. You definitely need a squad if you want to compete. In any walk of life in the game, like, you definitely need a squad, and Gallagher can be that squad player. Where he already know the system, he already know what the team needs. So that's what I'm saying right now. For me, Gallagher, is a very important part of the team. He can be a very important player, and that's just me. I would love if we keep him in Chalobah, because, as I'm saying, they know Chelsea in and out. And honestly, I wouldn't want to break this team apart at all. I wouldn't want to break this team apart at all. I would want to keep this team together. So honestly, I would have keep Gallagher right now. We can find different ways right now to make profit, because Omar Hutchinson, much as he banged it out in the championship, and I really like the player, if he don't want to sign a new contract, I would sell him, because that's pure profit, because we get him for free. I would cash in on him if he don't want to sign a long-term contract. I would cash in on him. So that to show you, and we can make profit in many, many different ways. We already going to make profit of Ian Matson, because I know for a fact he's not coming back. We make profit of Louis Hall, there in Newcastle. So that to show you that there's many ways. We got Tino Android. We can make pure profit off him too, because he was the next big thing out of Cobbin, and we haven't heard nothing about him or see him from a minute now. So there's many, many ways we can go about to make profit off all of this. That's what I was saying. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna probably disagree with me, but why would I go sign a Victor Osimhen right now when our financial balance is not there? Like, if you're gonna put more debt, on what we got, struggling and try to sell all these young players for profit, pure profit, just to suit one player, like, that doesn't make sense to me. Most of you guys watching on X, man, I really appreciate it. If you want to switch over to YouTube where you can join the chat, man, I really appreciate it. If you can come over to YouTube. But I appreciate it wherever you watch it. If that's how you watch it, that's how you watch it. I really thank you guys. But thank you. I really appreciate it. But for me, I would rather stay away, to be quite honest, and balance out the team in a better way, where we don't have to be selling all these players for pure profit just to balance the book. If you're gonna have to continue to do that, like, I would rather right now, stick with Nicholas Jackson, because I know for sure next season he's gonna get better, and I know next season he's gonna put away most of these chances. We just need another striker. And Dujon Whisper Richards, he's banging in goals in the development league. Like, he is banging in goals for us. So those are some little stuff that we need to take in consideration. If every season we're going to put ourselves in debt, where we're going to have to continue to sell players for pure profit to balance the book, after a while, that's going to run out. And after a while, our young players not going to want to come to us, because they know that we're going to only use them for pure profit. So we have to be very careful. A lot of things can be detrimental to us this season. This season is a season that we're going to have to get it right. That's what I'm saying right now. I will stick with Pochettino if he can continue to play this way, or to show this type of performance. The team can show this type of performance, win, lose, or draw, for the upcoming season. Then I will really say, let me stick with Pochettino. But for right now, it's more for me right now. It's what the owners to balance the book, because as I say earlier, we cannot keep on going down this road. We're not gonna have no more hotels to sell, to balance the book. So we have to get it right. If we cannot get Victor Osimhen on a low wage rate where it can balance the book on a decent price, like, I would just leave him where it is, to be quite honest. Because for me, Chelsea first and everything else after that. And that's just the truth. That's just my take on it. I'd rather see Chelsea advance right now, and clear up financial fair play and all of that, than to see us continue to live in the past, where we continue to go down the same road with financial fair play. Yeah, you guys on 63 points. Yeah, but we if we win 2 games, our next 2 games, and you lost your 2, we can be on 63 with a better goal difference. That's what I was saying earlier. I understand that you guys on 63, but our goal difference is better. So that's what I'm saying. If You guys lose to Manchester City, and we beat and we win with just 3 points, um, close to you guys. And if you lose your final game in the season, and we win, like we sit on the same amount of points with you guys with a better goal difference. Because if you lose, right now we're both on 12 goals. If you lose to Man City, that gonna minus some of your goals. Depends on the score. For instance, if you lose to Manchester City, like 3 goals to nothing, we're gonna have like 3 goals better than you guys. And if you lose the last game, that's still gonna put you guys in a worse spot. So that's why I was saying that it can be detrimental to you guys if you guys don't get all 3 points. Welcome to the show, Blue Board Analyst.
Hello, Garvin. Hello, audience. Hello, everyone, and a happy Sunday, happy Mother's Day, and a good day generally, and a good week with the result. And yes, some of the fans may be disappointed because of the result. I mean, with the Arsenal's win, but on the other hand, it's good for us, right? That Manchester United are 3 points behind us now, and it gives us I won't say a clear path, but it's a good possibility that at least we will, at the worst, we'll finish seventh. And so, in my opinion, now the fight is between Newcastle and Chelsea for the sixth spot. And I was just listening, and I've been listening for the last 30 minutes, and great analysis, and a lot of things that you discuss is really relevant. And there are so many variables, and many things can happen from the Premier League race still on between Arsenal and City. The fourth spot is still on, given if Liverpool beat Villa tomorrow. So it's interesting. And then some of the people say, oh, the Premier League is not interesting anymore because of Man City's dominance. But as we were discussing a week or two ago, right? Anyone can tell us any league in the world where so many positions from the top till the bottom almost are up for grabs, So it's interesting, I would say, as interesting as any season I have witnessed. And yes, so it made me excited. I was having a coffee. I said, let's join the show, even though I might have 30-40 minutes, not a long time like the last time we had a record 5-hour show, and it was brilliant, I would say. So yeah, thank you for having me. And so yeah, please go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if we all taking it deeply, like the Premier League, that's why it's the best league in the world. Because as what Jay-Z was saying, like Tottenham got both ends right now like this, and they can either go left or they go right, and it looked really good for the end of the season. Because if you notice, Tottenham was leading the Premier League at the beginning of the season till everyone thought that Tottenham was going to win the title. And right now they're the one that can decide the title, who win the title. So that to show you the interest that game going to bring on Tuesday, and that to show you the goodness and the grace and the greatness of the Premier League. So anyone going to say that if Man City win the Premier League, is the Premier League going to always be the Premier League. Like the Premier League ain't going to lose no fans at all. It doesn't matter who win the Premier League, because the entertainment in the Premier League is different than every other league in the world, because any team can beat any team at any given moment. So that makes the Premier League special. It's not La Liga. La Liga, Real Madrid will win 5 or 6 or 7 titles in a row, or probably Barcelona. But those are the only team. They compete against each other, and whosoever win both ties, the title swinging their way in their favor. But that's not what happened in the Premier League, because up to the relegation team can beat the team on the top at any given time. So that to show you is a difference. The scale is way different.
So yes, I mean, it's amazing. Every season, I would say, is better than the previous season. I would say, like it's getting better and better. Yes, Man City has won what 5 of the last 6 leagues. Five of the last 6. Yeah, they won in Liverpool won in the COVID season. So, but that doesn't mean, I don't know why people look at that, because they compare to Serie A, and because I believe, I don't have these numbers in front of me, but in the last 5 years there have been various winners. Like before, it was only Juventus for 6 to 7 years, and then Inter won, AC Milan won, Napoli won. So just because in the last 3-4 years there have been different winners in Serie A, that doesn't mean, I mean, this is my opinion, that doesn't mean that that league is more competitive. Yes, you can say in the last few years, maybe what 3-4, as I just mentioned, the competitiveness in the league enhanced for various reasons, because of the investment, because Juventus is not that strong anymore. It gave opportunity to Milan clubs to bounce back, to Napoli. So yes, we can say the competition has increased in Serie A, but we don't judge the league based on 2 or 3 teams. But how about the teams from 4th, 5th, all the way till 20th? It's not competitive. Similarly, in Germany, now people are saying, look, the way Leverkusen like dominated Bayern Munich, so it's more competitive. You'll see many people, even analysts, saying that it was more competitive than Premier League. First of all, after what, 9 years, 9 seasons, I think some team won the league in Germany. And even if Leverkusen won, it was not a competitive season. Like they completely dominated and won the league single-handedly, I would say. There was no competition between them and Bayern Munich. And again, the positions from 3rd, 4th till 20th, it's not competitive like we have in the league. See the teams like Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester United, they are fighting for the 6th spot. So yes, we can say Manchester City have been dominant. That's true. We cannot deny that. But as we were discussing again in our previous show, 2 or 3 times Man City won on the final day in those 5 victories. So we also have to keep that into consideration, right? Even this season, if Man City go and win the league, it will probably be on the final day, even if they beat Spurs on Tuesday. That would still require them to beat West Ham on Sunday. If they slip on Sunday and Arsenal beat Everton, then Arsenal will win the league. And again, if City still win the league, they will win the league on the 38th week. So I don't know. I mean, to me, it's more competitive. It's not just more competitive. It's interesting. The football is better. Again, everything, the sponsorship, the broadcasting, the commentary, the players. Yes, if we just look at the winners, the Serie A stands out in the last 3-4 years, 5 years, as far as different winners. If that is what you're looking in the league to be most competitive, then okay, maybe that's someone's criteria. Serie A has different winners in the last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, when you say you're right. But even if Syria got 3 or 4 different winners, if you notice when they win, the margin are way different. The points total, like is way different. It's always like 10, 15 points clear. In the Premier League for the last couple of years, what you said, like it's really close margin. It's always going down to the last game. So that to show you that the race in the Premier League is more entertaining. It's more art, more your heart and your mind and your body, your soul. Everything is more invested in it because you never know which way it's going to swing. Like the Syria, like for the last 4 games, Inter Milan already crowned champions. Same thing in France. In Germany, the same way with about 4 or 5 games left. All those competition already wrapped up from 4 or 5 weeks ago. So why would I want to be interested by watching all of the rest of the remaining games? There's nothing left to play for. With the Premier League, like you still have to be tune in because you never know. Because as you said, the tide can swing in any second. And that's what is so magnificent. The tide can swing anyway. Tottenham can decide it on Tuesday, or they can leave it wide open. So it can go anywhere with one game left to go. So you're 100% correct.
So it's interesting that the Arsenal fans, whose biggest rival, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, I think the biggest rival of Arsenal are Tottenham, right? The North London rivals. The stadium is 5-minute walk. The Emirates Stadium and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is 5 to 7 minute walk. They are not just the London rivals, but the North London rival. So they are, in my knowledge, they are their biggest rivals, Arsenal and Tottenham. And now the Arsenal fans are all behind Tottenham. This is the beauty of football, I would say. They of course, there is no other way. They are all behind Tottenham because they need a favor from Tottenham. And even Kai Havertz, right, in the post-game interview said that he will be the biggest fan of Tottenham on Tuesday. And yes, and I was I was watching a few post-game clips just before coming to your show, and all the Arsenal fans were saying, "Come on, you Spurs!" I was like, this sounds unusual to me, Come on, you Spurs! Come on, you Spurs! Right? I was like, wow. I can't blame them. I'm sure if it were us in the same situation, and if it was Tottenham City or any other match, and if Tottenham win or draw would give us the title, for sure, we would be supporting Tottenham, right? I'm sure, like at least 99% of the...
Sure, because Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to be a Manchester United fans for a little bit.
Yes, we need a favor from now Manchester United against Newcastle. So it's interesting. If someone that's the beauty. The Tottenham, they are playing so bad. They just won the last game against Burnley. Before that, they lost 4 in a row. But there is no guarantee that Man City will win. Because, look, as good as City are, in my opinion, the pressure will still be on them. Because technically, Arsenal are ahead. I know the City has a game in hand, but they know they have to win that game to go ahead of Arsenal. And for some reason, if you see from the Pochettino days, then even continuing with Mourinho, Antonio Conte, I'm talking about Tottenham Hotspur. Pochettino started in the last 2 seasons, got the best out of Guardiola. Mourinho won against Guardiola. Conte defeated him twice with Tottenham. And I don't remember in the last season, sorry. So, but generally, like the stats in the last 5 to 6 seasons overall are significantly in favor of Tottenham. If you see the last 8-10 games, Tottenham have dominated City, even though they have some bad results. I know this doesn't say that Tottenham will win, but they have shown up, like they always turn up. And their new stadium was built in 2019, and in the last 5 years they have played 7 times, maybe 6 times. I don't remember, 6 or 7 times, either way, and they're undefeated at home against Man City. So I love to check these things, and of course it will give Tottenham some confidence. I'm not supporting Tottenham. I'm just saying, as far as the Premier League, as far as a commentator or an analyst, that it's not straightforward. And remember, Arsenal would need just a draw. Not necessarily a win would be better for Arsenal, but a draw would again put Arsenal in pole position because they have a better goal difference as it stands. So even a draw would take Arsenal and City in the final day, with Arsenal having to win just a game against Everton. And it will require, let's say if it's a draw on Tuesday, and I think there is a 4 goal difference as it stands. Arsenal has 4 goals more than City, right?
3 goals.
Three goals. Yeah. Sorry, 3 goals. So thank you for that. So 3 goals. So that means if Arsenal beat Everton Just for our viewers to make it easy, I know everyone can explain, but not everyone has the time like us to always go and have everything ready, to put it out there. So if it's a draw against Tottenham on Tuesday, then what it means for Sunday, the 19th of May, the final day, Arsenal would have to beat Everton. If Arsenal beat Everton, let's say 2-0 on the final day, that would mean that Manchester City, in order for Manchester City to win the league, they will have to win at home against West Ham 6-0. So a draw on Tuesday between Tottenham and City could be enough for Arsenal just to go on Sunday and win the game against Everton. And conversely speaking, even if Man City wins, or even if they lose, let's say against Tottenham, you never know. This is the beauty. Arsenal would be like, oh, they just have to beat Everton. And imagine if everything works in favor of Arsenal, Tottenham beats City, or it's a draw on Tuesday. And who knows? It could be one of the biggest bottle jobs that Arsenal, all they need is to beat Everton, and they'll go and lose the game in the final day at home against Everton. This is the beauty of the league, and I'm sure it's a game of pressure and nerves. So now no one can say will happen or that will happen. Anything can happen. We have seen crazy games like Man City QPR with Aguero scoring in the last second to give City their league win after 40 some years. So I think it will go down to the final day, and anything can happen. And I know we don't want Arsenal to win the league, but I think they can realistically win the league this year.
As you saw, I'm saying that I don't know if you heard this, but breaking news: Chelsea don't have to sell players before the January the June deadline that everyone was saying. I don't know if it's true or false. I just saw it popped up. So I don't know if you see it nowhere in the newspaper there, or you hear anything about it, or any knowledge that you can share. But I just saw it pop up. So I don't know how true it is.
Yeah, I heard that before, but I'm still not sure about the source. So we will have to wait and see, like, if this is true, because again, unless the credible sources will verify that, so we can only take it with a pinch of salt as it stands. So, Garvin, I know you've been saying that. I know that I have been Poch in most of the times, and I'm still not like Poch out. I still like him. People are confused with my take on Pochettino. It might confuse you as well that I praise him, I back him, and then I say that maybe he should leave. Again, like, I don't think so. Many people have messaged me in person or said in some group chats that what's my take on Pochettino. So for the final time, I think, because I don't want to like go again and again. In a minute, I won't take long, just 1 minute. My take, look, it's not just Pochettino. Maybe I'm a little bit unconventional, or people usually have one say. They love Gallagher, or some of the people they don't love, or they hate Gallagher, or they don't like Gallagher. I'm not like that, or they are Poch in, or they would go in, like they're people who have made pages on Twitter, websites in the name of Pochettino, and every tweet is on Pochettino. Everything is on Pochettino, and there are some people who have made a profile of Poch out, and every single tweet every hour for the last 6-8 months is on Pochettino to be sacked. So this is not my lifestyle. This is not how I think or how I work, to be on just one track or one boat. I think generally what he has done with Tottenham Hotspur, I rate that very high personally. Some people disagree, but I rate that high. I see Pochettino as a coach with a lot of potential yet to prove to be an elite manager. Let's put it this way, in short. So, given the injuries, the young squad, I believe he can still do great. And I agree with Garvin. I think he can do wonders in terms of taking us into March, April in the league, being in the title race. If he is here, let's say for the next 2 years, he can do the Arsenal. I don't know. Maybe Arteta can cross the line. What I'm saying is what Arteta did, let's say last year, or what Pochettino did with Tottenham in the title race up until April, and in the last 3-4 games somehow bottled it. You can say that, or could not eventually cross the line. So I agree with Garvin's. I see if Pochettino stays here, I can safely say he can finish second or third in the Premier League. He can go in a title fight, in a league title fight with City, Liverpool, whoever is there in that season. Cross 85 points, 85 points, close to 90 points. But will that be enough to win the league? So this is the question. I don't know. And then when I look at, again, managers like Flick, I'll just say Flick for now, that stands out for me. So if there is a better manager, I would replace, I mean, if I am in the position to make a decision, I would replace Pochettino. But again, if I have options like De Zerbi or Thomas Frank, then I'll keep Pochettino. With all the news that is circulating for the last 2 months, that if they replace Pochettino, then according to all the credible journals, and you know who they are, from Fabrizio Romano to Ornstein to Julian Laurence, who generally, you can agree or disagree with their analysis, but they generally report stuff that is correct 90% of the times, which is a good number. So if we go with their with what they have suggested is likely to happen, we are not linked with Flick or Mourinho or Tuchel or Nagelsmann. We are linked with always De Zerbi or a Thomas Frank or XYZ, of this sort. So in that context, I always back Pochettino, that I'll be very comfortable with Pochettino being the manager. So I hope I've made myself clear. If there's a better option, I'm saying change him. Even if he wins the next 2 games 5-0, change him. If you go for Flick, why not? Because this is because the position of a manager is taken by one individual, only one, and you want the best profile to be there. And Pochettino is not the best profile. At the same time, he's a very good manager. I think he's one of those managers. If he always do like this, if he works at Chelsea, go to Milan, I'm just saying, and always finish second, there will always be this question: a great potential, great manager, but could not cross the line. So because he's still 52, and it's not that old for a manager, usually they work till 65. He's halfway in his management career. If he remains fit, healthy, he still have 10-15 years. So I still think, like, if we can work on some of the criticism of late changes, late substitution, and there are not too many things that he needs to change, in my opinion. And the best thing I love about him is how much effort he puts in the training, and every time from Tottenham days till Chelsea. You can see the difference between Ten Hag and Pochettino is that the team split. Ten Hag couldn't keep everyone on one page. Pochettino has shown that he has kept the team together. And this is a huge attribute which is required to be successful as a manager. Same with Tottenham. There was no issue up until the time he was sacked in the last few months. But that was already 5 years he was there, right? So I think he's a great manager, but I still have question marks. Can he win the league? Will he win the league? And yeah, so I'm both Poch in and Poch out, if you want to say that. I'm not sure. And Garvin, as far as the question is concerned, actually I recorded a show with one of my friend, you can say, who is very busy in his economic studies, and he has a little bit time, Tiger, young kid, in fact, So I'm surprised in a way, like sometimes I surprise myself. I speculated. I said it's a speculation. There was nothing mentioned so far, if I am right, at least what I have checked by yesterday morning, nothing was mentioned that Pochettino is linked with any club. So I speculated, given what Pochettino has been saying, and especially the last press conference when he said that he could also, I don't remember his word, like he can also, in short, what he said, he can take the decision to go away or to call it a day with Chelsea, right? Something like that.
He was saying that he's not the owner only. Like, what if he's not happy too? Like, he can leave too, or he can walk away.
So according to Julian Laurence, if you go and trust everything what he's saying, according to him, there is a clause in Pochettino's contract that after one season, Pochettino If he is not happy, he can walk away, and the owners cannot stop him. So I see where he's coming from. And then I added a speculation, and it's this speculation is now picking fire. I added without checking, without knowing anything being reported. I think by the time I recorded my last podcast, I didn't see anything. So what I said to in the podcast, that I think that Pochettino has some, not official, of course, unofficial kind of a offer, or they have been like, I don't know, like any club. It could be Man United, it could be Atletico Madrid, or even like now people are saying Milan. But I didn't know at that time. So I speculated that he is intelligent as much as what we think about him. Probably he knows that he has an offer, or he has the possibility of joining a good enough club if he leaves Chelsea, right? And given that, if, as Laurent said, that Pochettino has a clause that he can resign and the board cannot stop him, because even if you resign, if you have a 2-year contract and the manager resign, they cannot resign. This is something no one is talking about. They cannot. If they resign, then Pochettino will have to pay them 10 million pounds to go. It's two-way. The club also has to pay if they sack a manager before his contract ends. Similarly, for the manager cannot resign until and unless it's for ethical reason or something that is legal. He can say that the club has done this and it's harmful for him. If Pochettino resign or any manager resign, they need to pay the club because they are under contract. If you are in a contract with an office and you leave earlier, you cannot just walk away like that. It all depends on the contract. So in footballing terms, the manager cannot walk away until and unless, similarly, like a player cannot walk away before the contract is finished. But according to Julien Laurens, the French journalist,
Yeah.
he said that Pochettino, when he signed with the Chelsea last summer, he said that he will revise his he will look into the whole season and will look into his relationship with the management and how everything that was promised to him was played out during the season. And if he is not happy, he can resign, and the signatures are on the paper. So that is making me think that Pochettino will resign next week, or maybe not the next day after the final game, but soon after. And it's a good thing, I would say. He is in power. That means that the board and owners, if they want to keep him, they will have to listen to him. And what I believe is listening to him is his style, his profile of the player, a striker, midfielder, whatever they want, or his general understanding of the game and what is lacking and what Chelsea needs to do to be again competitive. So if this is true, which I believe is, that he has the right to resign, because he's saying he can leave if he wants. Because if there is nothing in the contract, he cannot leave, right? And I'm not saying he wants to leave. I think he wants to stay. Let me conclude by saying I think he wants to stay. Chelsea is a big club. He didn't come here to go away after a year. But I think if he has an offer from Manchester United, or as reported today on various platforms, AC Milan, by a top AC Milan, I'm sorry about that, not AC Milan, top Italian newspaper. So we can believe that, of course, he can be linked with AC Milan. It won't be I don't know about Bayern Munich, but because Nagelsmann rejected them, Rangnick rejected them, Thomas Tuchel will, of course, leave, and some other manager. It's weird, by the way, that so many managers are rejecting a club like Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich don't have many options right now. So it won't be like people can say, oh, why would Bayern Munich call Pochettino? But again, Bayern Munich don't have perhaps they don't have really any good option right now. None, I would say, right? They are now linked with Eric Ten Hag. So if they have to choose Ten Hag or Pochettino, they'll probably choose Pochettino. Manchester United, I know people will say, but Manchester United is linked with Pochettino as long as Pochettino was born, I would say, right? And Ineos had a meeting with Pochettino because he also owns Nice. Last year, he offered Pochettino to be a manager of Nice. They are in good terms. These are speculation, but again, I don't know if Manchester United will be interested in Pochettino. If not Man United, of course AC Milan. Of course, some other good club would be interested. Now Pochettino will have to see, does he want to join AC Milan, or if it's Manchester United, or if it's Bayern Munich. I'm just saying, right? He would then go and negotiate with the owners, and in a good way. It's not like a bad or evil intent. It's like, look, for me to be able to succeed in Chelsea, I want this. And it's a good thing, I would say. I'm looking into it as a great thing. And if they agree, great. If he thinks that he would work here as a puppet, I'll say all power to him. He walks out, go to Milan, or even let's say a normal club. If he gets a job, let's say at a mid-table Premier League club, or at Sevilla, let's say in Spain, no problem. You just go and work there. What it will do, I know for the time being, it will be a huge, it will be a bad news, bad press, as you said, for the commercial side, the sponsorship. But at the same time, it will be short-term loss, I would say. But for the new managers to come and eventually sign, the board will have to amend their ways eventually for them to work. This is how I see it. I see it as a good sign. As for some reason, you can call me crazy. I want Pochettino to walk away. I love Pochettino. I want him to stay. But if the board is so stubborn that they only want to sign a 17-year-old player, maybe this is good for us in the long run. So yes, Garvin, this is my take. So I would like to listen to your opinion and what you have to say on what I presented to the audience.
What you were saying, you're 100% correct, because for me, I think what he's doing, he's all in the board right now is Astich, because I think Pochettino want to stay, but he's giving them that he got option. So I think that if it help to Pochettino, he will stay. I don't think he will walk away. But for me, I think what he's doing right now, he's playing about the same mind games that the board been playing, because someone been leaking all these news that Chelsea been linking with all these different managers. So I think what he's doing is trying to show them, like, I'm not the manager that's not in high demands. Like, people want me. If you get rid of me, I can go somewhere else. I definitely can go anywhere. So I think that's the game that's playing right now. I don't think he want to leave. I think it's up to the club if they want to get rid of him. As I said earlier, the way of Pochettino right now build this bond and relationship with the people at Coben and also the players. If they fire Pochettino, it can go two ways. It can either be bad or it can be good. It can be that dressing room can be toxic again. So would they really want to get rid of Pochettino to see how the players are fighting and playing for him? If you're not going to get like an Andrew Flickton, where the player's going to look at it and say, this man is a Champions League winner, or or a World Cup winner, or a German Bundesliga winner, then you can have a problem. If you just get any manager that's not of that class, that Pochettino is going to bring, like, it can cause a big problem in that dressing room. So that's what I was saying. For me right now, if you're not going to get a flip Ken right now, like, why change what's not broken? Give him another season, and the only thing, let him know, like, this is the way I want you to go, and this is the road I want you to go down. That's my take on Pochettino. I don't know what you got to say. I'm going to turn my camera off for 1 second, but you can continue.
Yeah, that's correct. It's interesting. And today, as Rich Moneymaker said, AC Milan will only pay him, I don't know, 6 million a year. We are paying 15 million. I don't know if we are paying Poch 15 million. I have not checked it out, but if Rich Moneymaker is saying, then it should be correct. It could be 12 to 15 million, because I think Potter was getting 13. So who knows? But I don't know. I don't think so he'll go at a 6 million at Milan, for sure, at least 10 to 12 million, right? So it's a good point, but I'm sure that Milan will play him. Oh, sorry, will pay him good. Probably not as good as what we are paying. So, but again, I don't know if he wants to go to Serie A at this moment. I believe because he loves the Premier League, he has always stated that it is his desire to work in the Premier League. He would want to work in England, and that would mean Chelsea, or if he leaves Chelsea, it could only be for Manchester United, not for a small or mid-table club, I would say. Uh, Manchester United could be a possibility, could still be a possibility because look, they will replace Ten Hag, right? Let's be real. They will replace Ten Hag, even if he somehow go and beat City in the final. I think honestly that they will replace Eric Ten Hag. So if they so let's agree for a minute that Ten Hag will be replaced. Then Manchester United will need a manager. And the manager linked with Manchester United, again, according to various sources, so far have been Graham Potter, Thomas Tuchel, and Gareth Southgate. So, with all due respect to Potter, because he had a bad spell at Chelsea, so I won't rule him and say that he's a bad manager, but for sure, Pochettino would appeal more to the Manchester United board. I'm just comparing in a very direct way without going in detail. So yes, Pochettino should have the vote in favor of Potter. Gareth Southgate again is I don't want to disrespect or anything, but being a manager in England where he did well, I would say that he has his own critiques. So this is not the point in analyze Gareth Southgate. But coming from England, taking Manchester United job is so different than Pochettino, who has worked 5 years at Tottenham, 2 years at Southampton, and at Chelsea. He's in the groove, in the rhythm, and he can only improve. So I think Pochettino can get the best. I mean, can get the best out of the confidence of the board. The only challenge you can say, if it's up to the board to decide between Tuchel and Pochettino, then it can go either way. It can go either way because if they look Tuchel in a holistic framework and his Champions League, especially with Chelsea and his work at PSG Dortmund, then they can, of course, consider that there could be various factors that Tuchel couldn't perform this year in Bayern Munich. On the other hand, it can go against Tuchel as well. But yes, Tuchel could be favored over Pochettino. But again, what I'm trying to say with all these comparisons is that even Pochettino will have a chance at United because, again, as I mentioned, these four managers, United don't have a big pool to choose from. And if not first, which is probably going to be Tuchel, even with the bad season he had, Pochettino might be the second preferred choice. So that means it's a realistic chance. So we don't have, Klopp will not go there, right? He is taking a rest anyhow. Guardiola is not going to go there. Nagelsmann has signed with Germany. Yes, Hansi Flick is a manager, but for some odd reason, he is not linked with any top Premier League club so far. Hansi Flick could be the standout choice for Manchester United. So again, the choice of which manager you get, I know we can always say some people, I was looking into different comments section are saying, why would Manchester United take Pochettino? They can, honestly. They can because, as I said, he's been linked with Manchester United ever since he was born, right? Garvin can attest to that. So this is one marriage that might eventually happen, in my opinion. Sir Alex Ferguson, who now doesn't have a big say as it was in the last previous years, is a huge fan of Pochettino. Fan, not he loves Pochettino. Gary Neville, again, is a massive Pochettino advocate. If it's on Gary Neville's hand, he would take Pochettino right now, immediately. And he had a lot of backing in the board, in the previous board and also in the new board. As I said, Ineos also appreciates Pochettino. And all I'm saying is, with everything that has transpired in the last few years, and all the official, not just speculation, but official statements of Gary Neville, Sir Alex, Ineos, and the United board over the years. He was always liked a person who could have had the opportunity. He was the number one choice before they went for Mourinho. It couldn't happen. Bad timing. He was at Tottenham. Didn't allow him to leave. He was heavily linked, and he was clearly the sought out choice to be replaced when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was interim manager. But bad luck, you can say, or whatever, for Pochettino. Ole Gunnar went on and won 10 or 11 of his first games in a row. And then they gave him a permanent contract. So it didn't transpire. Then when he was sacked at Tottenham, Ole was doing very well. And he finally joined PSG. So I'm just saying that Pochettino was always linked. Even at PSG, he was heavily linked to replace finally Ragnick, who was the interim at that time, when Ten Hag finally took over. But because the way PSG lost to Real Madrid and kind of bottled that game, so there was the vote of confidence went into Ten Hag's favor. And I always thought that Manchester United are making a mistake because Pochettino is a perfect fit for Manchester United. So as an analyst, if you will have to ask me, I think it's good for both Pochettino, in my opinion, and Manchester United. I think he can really do well over there. And he loves, it's not a secret, he has said that many times, that it's his desire and aim to work at United. So I know I'm making it a strong case, but I think there is a lot of legs and a lot of ingredients for this to happen. We cannot rule this out. But in any event, AC Milan has openly, you can say, their journalists have addressed that he is into contention if Chelsea and Pochettino part ways. And I think, with all due respect, even if it's Serie A, but Milan as a brand is a huge name. It could attract Pochettino, right, Gavin? It could tell Pochettino, as far as Rich Moneymaker said, if the salary and everything is agreed, he can still go there and prove a lot, because it's not easy, at least as I was discussing, to win a league in Italy, because 4 clubs are now fighting for the league title every year. If he goes there, win the league or something, he can regenerate his career. He can always be again linked with United and Real Madrids of this world if he go there in Milan and get the best out of them, dominate Inter, Juventus, Napoli, and the
They
Champions.
got some Pochettino type of players there too. Sorry.
No, please go ahead. So I think if I were Pochettino, and if I'm really not happy at Chelsea, and if I think I will fail at Chelsea and I cannot work with the board, I would go to Milan personally. It will tempt me to go to AC, because you're not going in a farmers league as far as the title race is concerned, because we have addressed that the title race is challenging. Yes, as you said, that Inter won this year, the difference is huge. That's fine. But 1 year Napoli won with a big difference, 1 year AC Milan won with a difference, 1 year Inter won with a difference. But every year in the last 4 years, there have been a different Serie A winner. And Milan only won 1 title in the last 10, 12 years, right? Something like that. It's 10
somewhere in that bracket. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that AC Milan is dominating Serie A. So if I were Poch, I would back myself, go to Italy, live in a beautiful city like Milan, have a change, enjoy your life, and rejuvenate your career. Win the league, try to do as good as you can in it, and he will have the Champions League. Look, I'm thinking as a Poch. If I were Poch, you see the excitement. I would get the Champions League. Milan is at second, right? I know, a million points away from the top. So Pochettino will get the Champions League in August, September, when the Champions League will start, and every manager loves to manage a Champions League team. Correct, Gavin? So there are incentives. There are incentives there. And that really, as an analyst, makes me believe that he's just not saying it. I know he wants to stay. He loves Premier League, and he knows Chelsea is a big club, and there is a huge opportunity here. If he walks away, he will only walk away knowing after doing his homework that he and the board are not on one page, and it's better for his future to join a club like Milan or United. If even United pursue him, that could be an easy choice for him to walk away. Then Milan could still tempt him.
When you said you're 100% correct. It can go both ways, you know. But let us see how we go at the end of the season. I want to hear your takes on the game. You know, before we call it, because I know it's Mother's Day, and I know we ain't gonna do it too long. Probably the next 5 minutes. You know, just want to know your takes on the game and if you see any of the players that improve. You know, this the for the final run of the season and the players that come back from injury. I'm giving you all three in one. You know, you can take your time and then I'll list them for me. You know, the players that come back, your Reece James, and Kuku, and the substitutes. You know, just give me your takes on it.
Yes. So if last game, I mean, yesterday's game was nowhere near as good as the last 3-4 games we had. But again, like I wasn't expecting us to have the similar kind of game that we had against Tottenham or West Ham, because that was also a wishful thinking, if you ask me. To expect us all of a sudden to always play in the fifth gear, play the game we had against Spurs and West Ham. Again, this is an away game, right? An away game, away form is bad. And knowing that Nottingham Forest, other team, yes, I know the Luton Town result gave them already confirmed that they will stay in the league. But up until the time the kickoff, before that, it was still up for the grabs. So that probably gave them the confidence to not. They were defensive, but they were also counter attacking a lot, right? So people can say that yesterday game was not good. I would agree. Generally, it was not. It was again not so comfortable. It was, in fact, if you see their counter attacks, they were much more threatening. But again, we also missed a lot of chances. Jackson had a few opportunities, Modric, Palmer. We could have scored 2 more goals. You can say that, right? It always happens. We took a lot of time in the final third. So all in all, the point is, yes, yesterday's game was not comfortable. We were shaky in the defense. In transition, they were dangerous. I mean, Nottingham Forest were dangerous. They could have maybe scored a goal or two as well. Okay, the thing I would draw now with that, which we have already discussed, but now I can really say with assertion that it shows that this is a young squad. We when our owner Boli was saying with such composure and such confidence in this interview that with the way we are playing from the back, the way we are attacking, creating chances, this is how we plan and this is how we vision, and everything is falling down. I was like, he's making a big statement. Look, okay, we are doing well and we should improve, keep on improving from now till the next season and onwards. But Todd Bowley made it this way that we have finished this is the finished article. No, we would no way after 35 games when we struggled, we had up and down, that we would be anyone would expect us to be consistent. Yes, we can still go and beat Brighton and Brentford and finish the season with 5 games in a win, but there will be moments, shaky moments. In the Nottingham Forest game, what I'm trying to conclude is that the players still take a lot of pressure. I would say more than tactics or any other thing, it was the nerves. They knew that they had to win this game to stay in contention for the Europa 6 spot. And perhaps with the when Modric scored, and a beautiful goal that he scored, Cole Palmer's pass was out of the world, as people have been comparing him to De Bruyne, and now he is making his point more and more with every passing game. So that remains to be seen, and great to see Modric finally scoring a goal after a while. But then we considered after 8 minutes, something like we scored in the 8th minute, they scored the first goal in the 16th minute with a set piece. and it showed again. We were good up until the 16 minute, and then heads dropped. Away game, we felt the nerves. So I would say it has more to do with how how the players, how their confidence is. They know now, as I recorded in one another podcast. In fact, I can name that the coolest chills of my friend Tobeho 2 days ago. And I said in that show that that I expect this game to be very tricky and very difficult, because when our players performed against West Ham, against Tottenham, there was not a real pressure on them. The pressure was not really on the players because no one was expecting anything. They knew the manager's position is under question mark. He could be sacked. They love Pochettino. That they did what they could, and of course they are all working hard. But after the West Ham games, the 5-0, when whole media, the fan base, the owners said what they said, I said to Beho that look, this game the players will feel the pressure, because this is the time, the first time when people are expecting big things from them. And so this is my observation, that they crumble in under pressure. And then I would say, thanks to a timely substitution, I would say, of Pochettino. People are still criticizing, but I would say they were good. He could have maybe done 5 minutes ago, but I'm not looking too deep into that. Sterling, again, at least showed his class, I would say. I know we have criticized him a lot, but yes, he shows that he has not been consistent, but he has the class, he has the attributes, and the way he cut inside out, it was delicious. It was best 5 seconds I have seen in this game. I would say it was joy to watch, and it gave me the feeling that things can happen. And then Reece James, again, it showed that we are lacking these players. The case for Pochettino in that context becomes stronger. That look, we don't have Reece James, we don't have Nkunku. Yes, Nkunku, as you said, I don't see. I'm not like impressed so far, but again, he has missed almost all of the season. So it's nowhere and in the Nkunku that we have seen in RB Leipzig, or the one we wanted, the one we were expecting, the kind of performance from the player that was coming from Leipzig, and the player of the season, and so many things that he has done over there and with France. So that is lacking, but I'm not worried, because he's not at all integrated, perhaps lacking fitness. But Reece James, when people say the best right back in the world, I know people can still say, okay, it was just one pass, one cross, and it can happen. But still, what about other players who have been playing here for months? They don't create that, right? The moment, the anticipation, everything was perfect. Easily you can say he was unmarked, he just ran and just hit a pass. But see the precision, right? Govern, you can correct me, the precision of the sorry, cross, I'm saying the pass. It's the cross, the precision, and knowing that you are 2-2, you need to win the game. And thank goodness that Jackson, who has been heavily criticized for his headers, is now scoring headers for fun.
Yeah.
Now scoring headers for fun. So I would like to just ask you. So yes, the players are improving for sure. It's more the collective thing we need, which we saw against West Ham and Tottenham. We lacked that collectiveness in this game, but I think it's just because we are still growing. This was a game of nerves, but it will only help. In short, the games like Manchester United, if you remember, where we won scoring 2 goals in the last minute, right? And this game, which we were losing in 2-1, came back, won eventually 3-2. These games will help more with the nerves. So I'm more happy in that context. If it was a straightforward win, it might not have helped our cause of absorbing the pressure, going through the phases and the nerves. So I would like to ask you about Nicholas Jackson heading ability, because people are saying that he can only hit straight headers, he don't use his muscle, but also the goal that he scored against Tottenham, at least he showed that he can use his neck and the muscles. And lastly, I know, like, probably we will talk now after the Brighton game, which is on Wednesday. So I would like to ask this following question also about Nicholas Jackson. Like, he's improving, scoring goals from head, and against Brighton, I think the way Brighton plays, it will be advantage Chelsea, advantage Pochettino. So what's your opinion on these following questions?
Um, I'm gonna start off with a Brighton. I know for a fact that Pochettino know how to play against Brighton, because if you notice in preseason and fall into the season so far, you know, De Zerbi haven't get the best of Pochettino as yet. So he showed that he know how to play against Brighton, and a lot of teams haven't. So I give Pochettino the props for that one. But for me, I always said with Nicholas Jackson now, I always said that Nicholas Jackson is a good player. You notice I never bashed the player. I never said he's not good enough for Chelsea. The only problem I have with Nicholas Jackson, earlier in the season, he showed that he wasn't a clinical finisher, and he played better when he was coming off the left. But right now he's showing that he's developing and he's learning and he's coming into his own. So at this moment, like, give him this guy a full preseason again, and I think that the editing part, he have to work on it in preseason and the finishing, and we're gonna have a good player on our hand, because he's better than every striker that we've been linked with the Ola play. And not only that, to take a player on, one or two players on, he can. His dribbling skill is really excellent. It's the way how we carry the ball across the field. That's what you need from a striker. Yeah, he can take pressure off your team. So those are the only two problems I see. But I can see with the header is developing. But can he learn more? Of course he can. You have to learn a little bit more to, as you said, to flick with the muscle, or to caress the ball, like you see with Thiago Silva. When he make those front post run from back, when where you flick these balls, they're going straight in the back of the net, or the keeper have to come off with a wonderful save. But with time, like, he will learn it. Harry Kane, you have to remember, Harry Kane first season, he was coming from the Championship, and Pochettino turned him to this monster. Can he unleash something in Nicholas Jackson? It's up to us to see if he can do. But when Nicholas Jackson get this finishing correctly, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a player that a lot of defenders are gonna be scared to play against.
Yes, yes. So overall, again, like, we are not too far away from doing great things next season. I know winning the league is probably out of question, but we can still finish as high as third, and then subsequently on the following season, the next season, the 26-27 season, we can really go and challenge for the league. Sorry, 25-26 season, we can go and challenge for the league. Just after 1 year. If the board and the sporting directors are clever, they need to really fill the void. Again, we need perhaps only 3 signings, but 3 correct signings. There are only 2 things, I would say. I know I'm making it very simplistic, or putting it out there as it's easy. It's not easy, but at least we know what we need. We need 3 players in 3 different positions. At least we know that. So I hope the board also have figured out, not just adding all these young. I know it's a good signing, but if we keep on having all these under 19s, under 21s of this world from Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Canada, China, and Russia. So I don't know what's the. This is not looking good, to be very honest. I'm not buying into that. Okay, we have already done that a lot. Okay, 1 or 2 more. That's it. Now go for the experienced players. We really need the experience. I believe without the experience, we won't be able to fight for the league in the next 5 years. If you believe to put the best 10, 12 players with potential, how can you quantify they are the best players? Someone has a good season at Brighton, someone won the World Cup because of Messi. How can you say Enzo Fernandez is a world-class player? As I was saying, I know people might not like what I'm saying. No disrespect to Enzo. I think he's a great player. But even if I were maybe in the Argentine team, I could say I have won the World Cup, but it's not because of me. It's because of the team. It's because of Messi. It's because of De Paul, McAllister, Emi Martinez save in the last minute before the extra time when it went to the penalties. It was a goal. Emi Martinez made the one of the best saves in the most difficult times. It's what I'm saying. It's a team game, and then the magic of Messi. I mean, we can agree, disagree. Everyone has their own understanding. I know his game. I in the last 4 or 5 years is nowhere near that was in the first decade of his career. But in somehow in the World Cup he resurrected. He has a new life. He had a great World Cup, I would say. He played very well, and he really helped Argentina. But then again, De Paul's role helped. McAllister helped. Julian Alvarez came into his own. As I said, Emi Martinez had the he was a standout goalkeeper, and it showed. He improved then again in Villa, and now
I
he's also
thought we were
linked with
gonna
us, by
sign
the
him.
way. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
exactly. No, no,
I
please
thought
go
we were
ahead.
gonna sign him in the summer but before we signed Sanchez. Honestly, that's the goalkeeper we would keep on link with. I thought we were gonna get it.
And there are still reports, but I don't know how credible they are that we might be going. I won't mind. You know why? First of all, of course, I would say he's the best stopper in the world. There are so many, not just the World Cup, before that the what's that called, Copa America, and the season he had with Villa, he has shown at the highest level the whole season. He's the best stopper. I know there are some aspects, maybe playing from the back or passing, that is not at the optimal level, but still could be improved. He's 30, 31, and the goalkeeper peak is from 30 to 40. So he's now in his peak. He still has 7, 8 years left in his prime as a goalkeeper. I would take him, and more so, even with more so to do with his qualities. Personally, I would take him because I know people have different opinion on him, but as far as his personality, character, and demeanor is concerned. But we need someone like him. We need that X factor, as we say, that leadership, that approach to push, to be vocal, to be flamboyant. So these kids need a guy like Emi Martinez. He would resurrect them. He would make them take that leap into greatness, or g- be a leader. If anything, if Reece James is here, it's fit great. Or I would make Emi Martinez the captain of the team. Have him. We need him, right? We need this personality. Okay, I'm not going there or analyzing what he did after the World Cup and his gestures. That's okay. I mean, we shouldn't be too serious about that. But this guy is like a hawk, is a predator, right? And
Yeah,
we
and
need
that's our
that. What
problem.
do you say?
No, and for real, you're right. And that's our problem. Our goalkeeper that we got right now is not comfortable of claiming crosses. And that's why our defense line looks so suspect on set plays. Because if you notice, they always stick on their goal line. And you need a goalkeeper to come off their line, because when attacking players see your keeper is comfortable of coming claiming crosses, they think twice. So that's why we always look so weak with crosses because they know our goalkeeper ain't gonna come off the line. So they only got one option is to put the ball in the back in the box because they know that we're gonna be vulnerable. If the defenders cannot claim it, the keeper ain't coming. So that's one of the main thing for me. Like we need a goalkeeper that can command the box. Unfortunately, like right now, the two goalkeeper we got is not. So I always get rid of Sanchez and get him or Beto, the Brazilian goalkeeper that we're linked with.
Yes, and for me, even his like personality, I think it will work well. We need someone who is challenging, who has the X factor, right? So he is like, very competitive, very vocal. I know people say he crossed the line. He is a little too much. Sometimes maybe disrespectful. That's their opinion, but we can understand, or I understand the South American players. So I know where it's coming from, but we need that in the team. If we see from the top till the bottom, I mean, from the attack to the defense, with all the substitutes and the injured players, we don't really have a leader. We don't have an X factor. We don't have a player who is, you can say, uh, deeply rooted into his vein or a little bit militant, And I'm not saying all of that in a bad way. I'm saying that with this young team, we need a very strong character. And Emi Martinez is one of the very strong characters in football right now, who is not shy and who can really like put the belief in these players. This is what I think. I think this also matters in football. The way he carries himself. I think a lot of these kids, especially, are back with young Fofanas and Levi Colville, Cucurella, Gusto. They, if a monster, not just physical monster, but a mental monster like Emmy is there. And I honestly think these things are maybe non-footballing. What I'm saying, I know as a technically as a goalkeeper and footballing way, we have already said he's great. But I'm adding this layer of non-footballing aspects that are mental, which has to do with the personality, the way he carries himself. I think it's a monster. This guy can build this defense, or their personality, or the way the young people, the young players like Kobe, Gusto, Fofana, if we hopefully come back soon, they can be so self-assured with Emi Martinez at the back, and the way he would be vocal and would be, he speaks perfect English, by the way. So I'm all for him. I'm all for him to be a part of the team. I think he is not one signing, he's as good as three signings for us.
Yeah, well, you said, well said. When we come to the almost the end of the show, any last words on the game that we saw over the weekend? Or do you think that we can beat Brighton and Bournemouth in our next two games and get the European spot? I want to know if you're confident enough. Before we
Yes,
call it.
yes, I'm confident against Brighton because, again, like as you have analyzed, that Pochettino has got the best out of him. I mean, out of De Zerbi, and they have now played three games: one in the preseason, one in the league, one in the FA Cup. And so, yes, it's still not 10 games, but three games is not one. So, Pochettino, De Zerbi head to head, played three, and three wins for Pochettino, which is good. So, it could be potentially a fourth win. So, if you ask me, pound to pound, Chelsea is definitely a better team right now than Brighton. And Pochettino is definitely so when things are, you can say, put collectively, then I would say which team is better, which manager is better, which team is in momentum. So all signs points towards a win for Chelsea. I know De Zerbi has a point to prove. He's also linked with us. He's linked with all the clubs in the world. So they would be fight. I know they are not fighting for a European position, but De Zerbi would try to encourage them to have a good end. He would like to. I know he's saying he would like to stay at Brighton. Every manager say that. I would like to stay here. I would like to stay here in Brighton, in Tottenham, in Nottingham Forest, in Everton. When clubs like Chelsea, Man United, Bayern Munich of this world come calling, you leave. More often than none, 95, 98%, the managers leave. If he will have an opportunity with Chelsea or United or Bayern Munich, he will go in a second, right? Until and unless he really loves Brighton, he has a good family, friends, girlfriends, and everything going well for him over there. He loves the beauty, the eagles, the city, the players, the music, the smell, the aura. He might stay, but I think this is a game where De Zerbi would like to prove a point. So in that context, it could be tricky, but the way that De Zerbi sets up his team plays perfectly in the hands of Pochettino, and we could be very deadly on the counter. We can really hurt them given their defense and how open they are. So if we keep a good structure at the back, I really don't see any other way than for us to go and beat Brighton. And to conclude, on the same day, Manchester United will play Newcastle. And that's a significant result. And I'm sure every Chelsea fan would love Manchester United to win or at least gets a draw. Because remember, even if we win two games, we need Newcastle to at least drop some points. Even a draw will be enough for us to secure that sixth spot, given that we beat both Brighton and Bournemouth. So yes, it's interesting times because in this bad season where we were between 10th to 12th, most of the times we can finish 6th. 6th generally is nothing to be proud of. I would like to keep my vision or my principles or my aim as high as winning the league or at least losing the league on the last day and can say it was a bad day at the office. But 6th, again, context matter. I'm a person who looked into the context. We finished 12th last season. From 12 to 6 is a significant jump. And again, we had a huge overhaul in the summer. So if we finish 6th, it's a good progress, I would say. Given that we've went to the final of the Carabao Cup and we were unlucky, and it was referee's decision that I would say we were cheated out of the final. Yes, we didn't finish. We were a better team against City in the semi-final of the FA Cup, but it was a clear penalty. I still have to mention that. Imagine with the 2 games remaining and a huge possibility to finish in the 6th. In 2 weeks' time, imagine if we were playing Manchester United in the FA Cup final. We are robbed, unfortunately. We could have a FA Cup final to play in 2 weeks from now or 13 days from now. But anyway, so I think as long as we can finish this season high, get a Europa spot, which is much better than a Conference League spot. It's not an ideal place. We want to play in the Champions League, but Europa spot from no Europe to a Conference League to a Europa finish, I think most of the fans would be really happy with that. And it will be interesting to see with all the speculation and all we discuss what will happen with Pochettino, which I think is very much in the air. So thank you, Garvin, for having me. Please like, subscribe, share the stream with everyone, and hopefully we will do a show. And if I have time, I will request Garvin to come on my channel before the end of the season. And for sure, in the summer, we will continue on with our projects and with our shows.
Okay, I will. All you gotta do is set it up. I tell you my time when I leave work as usual, and then you send me the link, and I run home and get it done. I really appreciate you come on, and of course, I'm gonna be there for your next show. Just let me know when, because I'm gonna see if I want to see if I can graphic my logo, because I'm gonna make some shirt for my channel, with my logo. But this one, I wanted something with this, but I want it to done like real good. So I was gonna ask you if you could revamp this logo for me, because I see they're really talented on it. Yeah, I want to do something with my logo.
Sure. Feel free to DM me and we can discuss on that.
Okay, I will. So thank you for coming on, and it's Mother's Day. I'm gonna go look for my mom now, and I was doing some grill outside, so they can start to heat their food, and thank you. I really appreciate it every time. Just enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see each other Wednesday or something, in the group chat or something. Let us see how it goes. So thank you each and every one. And remember, please like, share, and subscribe to your boy GFC Garvin YouTube channel and Blue Board Analyst. Go check it out. Because as I said, guys, there's some wonderful content over there. So go and check it out and subscribe. Thank you, guys.
Coming from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays, all the niggas that be see-through. I always said this is that I'm staying around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be equal. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Pushing nigga past his limits, then he see he bought it. Family worked hard, but I never guess I'm found it. Came a long way, in my dream now I be drowning. Niggas stay dying out here, got some hearts pounded. Multi-talented, my passion I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted. Successful, I feel. All the memories come flooding, but hit different. I've changed a lot, friends list got thinner. Ain't tripping about enemies, true and stay hidden. He was lurking, so we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen, they faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten, they ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay